10 hours and counting now for the Good Government's 6th hearing. I know we're smiling knowingly because we've been listening to the whole thing. The 6th hearing on the OVP's confidential fund use, and it looks like the deeper they dig, the more questions surface.
The woman of the hour is Vice President Sara Duterte's Chief of Staff, Attorney Zuleika Lopez, who showed up for the first time today. Now, she had just arrived back from the United States to attend to a sick relative.
The problem is the lawmakers could not get much out of her either. They also flagged more irregularities in the acknowledgement receipts, as well as in how the confidential funds were withdrawn. Marian Enriquez with a big story tonight.
Last year, when both agencies were still led by Vice President Sara Duterte, the OVP and Education Department submitted more than 4,000 receipts to the Commission on Audit to document how Duterte's confidential funds were spent. But in parsing through this, members of the Good Government Committee saw red flags everywhere. In previous hearings, they discovered thousands of pesos disbursed to one Mary Grace Piatos. Lawmakers believe this is not a real person and even offered a 1 million peso reward to anyone who can provide information about this character. Now, another mystery name came up, Kokoy Villamin. This individual signed acknowledgement receipts for both the OVP and DepEd in very different strokes, two signatures coming from one person, real or otherwise.
It begs us the question, gaano kalala yung pag-aabuso dito sa confidential funds? I think we have just started unearthing all of these problems and all of the questionable acknowledgement receipts. I think this is just the tip of the iceberg, Mr. Chair. If we go deeper into this, mukhang widespread po ang nangyaring pag-abuso sa pondo po ng ating gobyerno.
More questions were raised over the role of the Special Disbursing Officers or SDOs and how they handled the funds of Sara Duterte's agencies. These officers are the only ones authorized to receive and handle confidential funds. DepEd SDO Edward Fajardo supposedly distributed 37.5 million pesos in confidential funds, a part of which was disbursed in 26 provinces in just one day.
In Pasig po na in cash, and immediately the next day, he traveled to these 7 places and had these 7 ARs. Did this not raise a red flag of the impossibility of this occurring? Let's give him a helicopter. I don't think he'll do that in one day. So it really raises a question. How did SDO Fajardo certify and say that he personally disbursed this?
And how about the OVP's SDO Gina Acosta, who supposedly withdrew 500 million pesos in confidential funds from Land Bank and stuffed them all into duffel bags? Acosta allegedly made withdrawals of 125 million pesos each between December 2022 and the first 3 quarters of 2023. Meantime, Duterte's Chief of Staff, Attorney Zuleika Lopez, finally showed up to the hearing, but she claims no knowledge of how the Vice President spent her confidential funds. Lopez insisted that she had no idea about the disbursement, liquidation, and use of any of the confidential funds. Lopez's assistant, Lemuel Ortoño, was also still a no-show and was cited in contempt a second time. For News 5, I'm Marian Enriquez. We are One News.
At a press conference this afternoon while the hearing was ongoing, Vice President Sara Duterte distanced herself from the questionable receipts.
I have no comment on that, because I've not seen the acknowledgement receipt na kanilang sinasabi, because basically lahat ng mga documents hindi siya dumadaan sa akin, dumidiretso siya sa SDO and sinasubmit siya sa ICFAO, yung office ng COA na gumagawa ng audit ng confidential funds. So hindi ako makakomment, lalong-lalo na hindi namin alam kung paano pinroseso ang pagbigay ng copies ng ARs or ng submissions namin sa COA to the House of Representatives, and sino ang nag-handle noong mga documents.